my big passion is costume design. That's really my favorite thing in the world because it's all about people and characters, and I feel like what people wear on their bodies is really the choice that you make every day about who you're putting yourself out there to be. Like, you're creating a character every day just by like the choices you make of what you grab out of your drawer. Designing a costume for a character is multifaceted, let's just say. For example, I'm currently designing a production of Anonymous, which is a really wonderful play it's based loosely on the Greek Odyssey, but it's contemporized into a story about a refugee child trying to find his way home to his family, trying to find his family when they were separated during a time of war. So the director came to us and she said, I want it to be graphic novel-esque. I want it to have that sort of urban, like, graphic design punch to it so that everybody feels like they're a little bit elevated out of street clothes but still very grounded in street clothes. And there are also some big fantasy characters, and how do you turn a fantasy character? How do you create basically, you know, superheroes for the stage, but also in this very organic, poetically written play? So you're combining a lot of different factors. So my goal for my thesis work here, which is sort of my stepping stone into what I want my career, my life to be, is to really tackle the topic of sexual violence on a personal level, how to bring forth, especially subconsciously, what it means to be a person who has had your life ripped apart in a certain way, in a very intimate, physical way, and bringing that into a place where it's art and it can be shared. And so I am creating a graphic novel that will be fully illustrated, and it will be about my journey into my own physical nightmares. A lot of my work is based off of literal nightmares that I have, because I think that that's my subconscious, you know, talking to me, for lack of a better phrase. So I want to bring that into it. So it's about the consciousness kind of falling asleep and getting dragged down into this dreamscape and confronting all of the things that maybe one would prefer not to confront. I will also be creating a photo story that will be based on fashion portraiture, basically. So it's meant to be beautiful and about the body and about garments, but it's got surreal aspects, it's got prosthetic aspects, it's got a lot of different makeup techniques built in, and it's really about what I call the freeze. So we kind of socially know the concept of fight or flight, right? That reaction your brain has that says, I'm in danger. And the third option that we often don't include in that equation is the freeze, which is the play dead. You know, that the stop, everything stops, because something in you, your body or the chemicals in your mind, everything is telling you, play dead. And then the third part will be a dance piece, which will be choreographed through Transcendence, which is the spring dance show that goes on in this department. And it will be about mirrors. It will be about self-confrontation, looking in mirrors, and just like looking at the self and, you know, taking on everything that's inside of you when you have to, on that path towards healing, which I think is what we all want. I always like to think that the best thing that's happened to me is always in the future. Like, I feel like I'm doing it wrong if the best thing that's gonna be has already happened somehow. Like, I always like to think that it's tomorrow, you know? And I think the same about like the hardest thing. If somebody asks me, what's the hardest thing I've ever done? It's like, if the hardest thing I've ever done isn't the thing I'm doing right now or the thing I'm about to do, then I'm not challenging myself, you know? So I like to think of that as like, there's always that step forward that I get to engage with. And that's my goal anyway, you know? Find the happiest thing tomorrow.